my name's Becca Ortiz, and I've been at B96 for about 3 years now. And I just started working for our sister station, but we'll get to that later. Everybody here is into radio, they want to be on air, do behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. All right, well, you guys all can do it, and everybody has a different story. It doesn't matter who you talk to, but for me personally, I actually wanted to be an entertainment writer, like write for a magazine or a newspaper about music. And so I went to Columbia College, Chicago. I went to community college for 2 years because I was poor, and then I transferred. And when it came time to do our internship, the only thing they had was like a bunch of trade magazines. So Cement Mixers magazine and all this weird stuff that I didn't want anything to do with. So I actually applied for an internship at ABC because they were looking for promotional writers for on-air stuff. And when I went in for the interview, they were like, well, we really don't consider anybody who's not a broadcasting major. But the problem that they were having was all the broadcasting people were coming in saying, well, I just want to do on-air stuff. Okay, well, if you're in Market 3, Chicago, they're not going to put you on the air if you're an intern. Not that you don't have the ability to, or that you're not going to revolutionize TV someday, but it just doesn't work like that. So that's where I kind of got the heads up. So I started working there, and I was actually in TV for a couple of years. And the last show that I worked on, we would work for 6 months, and then we'd be off for 6 months. So during our time off, I'd get bored. And it was the Jenny Jones show, so the last break that we had, we actually got canceled. So they were looking for somewhere else to put me. And a friend of mine actually did news writing for a smaller radio station out by my house in Crystal Lake. And he's like, why don't you just come, pass the time, whatever. So I started working there, and they're like, we need somebody to voice this. So I did that. And they're like, oh, that sounds good, do some more. And it was just one of those things where I was there for about 2 months, and it felt like 2 minutes. I knew that like that's what I wanted to do. Like the entertainment writing stuff had kind of gone out the window, or I mean, it's still all parallel. The TV stuff didn't matter to me anymore. Like I knew that I had found like what I was supposed to do, what I was passionate about. For you guys, some important advice that I could give to you is internships and experience. The most important thing ever. Like I said before, like if you talk to Stiles and Roman, who I work with, they were both interns there. They've never worked at any other station. That's how they did. I was at 4 other stations before I got to B96. So everybody has a different story, but it's about taking advantage of your connections and your options. Like you guys are at an amazing, amazing opportunity here. Like this building is pimp. Like some of the stuff in here, way nicer than some of the ghetto stuff we have at our station, you know? And we're in the Prudential building, so we think everything would be nice, but seriously, take advantage of everything that's here. And maybe you say don't like country music. You want to work for sports radio or like a GCI type station. Take what you can get. Because it's all the same. Yeah, maybe the songs are different, maybe your dialect might be different, but you're still, you know, working with the board, you're still doing live radio, you're still gonna have to do contesting and everything that goes along with that. So never turn down an opportunity. Two things, because I really feel like I've worked hard and I'm proud of how far I've gotten on my own, like not doing anything shady. Like there was tons of times where I cried and I was like, oh, this is, you know, something's wrong, this isn't right. It's about, you know, there's gonna be days where you hate everybody or you think you're doing something wrong, but you just have to decide if this is what you want, you have to go for it. You know, everybody has tough days, even people who have the job of their dreams. So for me, getting so far and getting to work at a station that people actually know, that was exciting for me because I felt validated, like I've actually been doing something with my life, not just hanging out. But on the other side, it's fun for me to see people get excited. Like you don't realize the power of music. Like I love music. Like I play the guitar, like music is my life. So to see people get excited for like the artists that you play, or even just for the station in general, it's exciting. You know, it's not about the money, and it shouldn't be about the money. It should be about loving what you do. So it's nice to meet people who, you know, can relate to that and like what the station's about and what it represents. So for me, it's seeing how excited our listeners get and the stuff that we can do for them, and then just feeling like I worked hard and made my way. When I started doing mornings at XLC, there was a program director, the program director at the time. When I first started, they were like, it's the Joe show. And I'm like, what about me? I'm here and I'm participating and I'm getting up early. And he was like, no, nobody wants to hear your name. You know, you're a girl, you're never gonna make it in radio. You know, I'm surprised you're still even here right now. And so I was like, you know, nobody wants to hear that, especially when you're doing something that you love. And they eventually let him go, and he's like working at a Wendy's now or something. But that was something that, I mean, that was one of the things that drove me, you know. It knocked me down, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to show them that, you know, I'm not just the girl or anything like that. So, I mean, that was something that threw me, but it's about turning what frustrate you into the drive. Nobody's going to care that you know how to do everything forwards and backwards if you're not going to, you know, be humbled and give them the opportunity to give you the opportunity. So thanks for having us, or for having me. You can find my contact info on the B96 website, on the Fresh website. So if you guys ever have any questions, you know, I do everything I can to help you out and point you in the right direction, or if I can't, to send you to somebody who can. So thank you.